Hello. In this video, I'm gonna try doing projectiles. Projectiles are a thing I use a lot in a lot of things or maps I make. And so I think they're very important to making something like if you want to make a shooter game or something, or for instance, Paintball. So I would probably just start with showing off what they look like. So the first thing you want to probably do is notice how disgusting that looks. Like, actually the worst thing ever. You can see the projectile flying, or, yeah. What's it doing? Yeah, flying. But, a whole quarter of my screen is taken up by stupid text. So, in order to get rid of that, you need to enter in these two commands. When you turn them both on, then those are gone. Also, they change how items work every single time. This one's supposed to be straight flying. I mean, it flies pretty straight. But you might have to end up continuously changing these each time. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. But, yeah. As you can see, they're just... This is the very base flying thing. These do fly through blocks. I just realized I have another command block on. So, yeah, it does actually work correctly. I'm just dumb. But yeah, as you can see, these fly through blocks and stuff, so if you're fine with that, then you can probably just have something like this in another command block that maybe tells it to deal damage to players or something. Then you have the curving projectile. It's like the straight flying projectile, it still only needs one command block, but it curves down. So yeah. Next, we have the block detection. I haven't seen a lot of this in like other videos at all, because when you look up how to make a gun in Minecraft, it shows you mods, and those are not inside of Bedrock. But yeah, this one basically just it just detects blocks, so if it sees a block, instead of like the other ones going through the blocks, it just dies as soon as it touches one. You can make these do whatever you want them to when they touch blocks. So, for instance, I have this one, so it dies and makes a little explosion effect. Like that. And there you can make it do a real explosion, but I don't know. Now that you have block detection, you can make paintballs. This is not too complicated, but paintball is probably most fun if you have different effects that paint gives. And so as you can see, when it hits the blocks, it makes paint splatter. You can also make different named items do different colors. So now it's green. I think I made these two things do different things. But yeah, if you do want to make a paintball map, I recommend you have some sort of button or switch or something that clears the paint. And I just turned off the command block. Of course it doesn't work. That was the first part of the video. Now is the command blocks. If you want to do the command blocks, they're all going to be down in the description. If you can put them into the command block, you should. It's not that much more complicated to figure out how they work, so I'm not going to go in depth with it exactly. So the straight flying one, it first finds an item with the name. This is the first important part I need to specify. You can change the name to any sort of item. So you can have a bunch of different projectiles with different names. Then you just rename any sort of item stack you want, and then it'll have that specific pattern. Then it tells it to teleport itself one block in the direction it's facing. It's pretty simple. It just keeps on teleporting itself forward one block wherever it's looking. The curving one teleports it one block where it's looking, but then tells it to look down 2 blocks or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but yeah, it curves. Those are really simple to make, though. They obviously won't do damage or anything. But block detection is where it gets a lot more interesting. This one, the same as the other one, just a curving projectile. But then it also finds it and adds a tag touch. You don't really need to modify this other than the projectile name. And then in here, this one above it, it has another one that's projectile, and it detects the air, right? When it finds the item, it detects the air, and if there is air that it's in, then it removes touch. Which basically means, as it's flying through the air, each time it flies forward 1 block, it gives itself a tag, and then if it's in air, then it removes the tag. It doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't really matter. But, then if it has the tag, which means it wouldn't be in an air block, because if it's in an air block, it removes the tag. Then you can kill it. So it kills the item with the name projectile with the tag touch, which is pretty simple. This one is all the way the same up to here. And then it just has, if it finds a tag with the name touch, plays the sound. Actually, this one also has a different one, but it does a camera shoot explosion. You want to make sure for anything you add underneath it, you always have the kill at the very top. If it isn't, then it's not good. It's a bad thing. Because otherwise it's going to kill it before it can play another procedure out. And then, the paintballs, they're pretty simple. It's just a basic fill command, or more specifically, a fill and replace command. So, it fills in concrete 2, right, which is obviously the different colors. You can find the whole list of colors online, and then it replaces any type of concrete. The green one does the same exact thing. I just did 2 colors to show how they can overlap. But, yeah, those are the basics of the commands. How you actually want to set up the commands is you probably want these 2 command blocks, right? Repeating command block and a chain command block. You want to start with your chain or repeating command block, and you want to make sure it's on repeat, unconditional, and needs redstone. When it's like this, then you're ready to put your first command at the base of it. You always want to make sure the arrows are pointing upwards so they go into the other commands. In a command chain, you want to have any sort of impulse or repeating command going into the chain command. Now in the chain command, you want it to have always active, because when a chain command is always active, that means it's always looking for a command block underneath it to continue from. You want this to also be unconditional. So the only difference is it's a chain type command block and it's always active. That's where you put the next command in. And then you keep on going, so on and so forth, and in the order that the different commands are on. So I'm probably going to have a document with all the commands and jargon inside of it in the correct order. And then you just need to build upwards. When you're building commands on top of each other, probably easiest. So, I guess crouch And then, yeah, that's basically it.